Cool. Okay, we are now recording. Hello, welcome everybody. Really excited to have everybody here. Really excited to have Harsh here as well for this workshop. It's going to be a really good one. Yeah, we have Harsh and Richa actually here from the Ethereum push notification services. They, like a lot of you guys, also started out as part of a hackathon. That's right, Harsh. You guys started as a hackathon. That's right. Started off as a hackathon project, which again is it's a testament to the community, kind of how quickly everyone's looking to help each other, and how everyone's looking to grow and in this space. So we're really excited to have another hackathon graduate, if you will, here to talk about game theory and DeFi. So with that, I will pass it over to you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Patrick. Awesome to be here. Hey, everyone. Really excited to be here. I'm Harsh. I'm the project founder of Ethereum Push Notification Service. Here to talk about DeFi. And we can probably get started. So let me just press my screen. So the way we are going to put this presentation is that I'm going to go through the game theory and the DeFi aspect, and whatever questions you have, I can probably take all of them in the end. So without much wait, let's get started. Hey everyone, we are Ethereum Push Notification Service. We are going to talk about game theory and DeFi. A lot of people get scared when they listen game theory and DeFi, but those are really simple terms to observe and to just learn. So yeah. What is game theory? Well, it's very simple actually. Game theory is the process of modeling the strategic interaction between two or more players. You guys do it in your day-to-day life, and we don't really even realize it. But some of the platforms which you use, or even jobs you do, they have a game theory, whether they realize it or not. In the end, game theory basically defines that you should have at least one win-win scenario for all the participants or the players, and that in essence forms the game theory. How do you do that? Well, just three simple steps. You first need to figure out who are the actors in the game theory. Then you have to figure out and you have to incentivize them by making sure that whatever behavior you want when you're designing the platform, you are incentivizing them. So the first rule is incentivize good behavior. A good example for this is, and I try to compare this with real life examples. So very good example is when you guys are doing a job, or when we are doing a job. So the organization, basically, if you're doing things which they like, and if you're helping them grow, they will incentivize your good behavior by promoting you or even increasing your salary. Another example, which is virtual, is Twitter, because when you're talking about incentivizing, people usually think that money is the only way by which you can incentivize, but money is just one of the ways by incentivization can occur. So another good example is when you look at Twitter. So when you're going to Twitter, Twitter is incentivizing you to provide them with good content, because in the end, if you are providing them with good content, they will make sure that your voice is heard. So basically, they are incentivizing you by making sure what you are coming to do on Twitter, you are able to do it better when you are tweeting it out, or when you're tweeting content which the previous users of Twitter platform likes. The next step in designing a very good game theory is ensuring that you are penalizing bad actions, because if you don't do it, you will probably not go very far. A lot of projects suffer from this, that when they fail to penalize bad actions, you can penalize them either in a very drastic way or in a smaller to drastic way. So yeah, another good example or another way to compare the penalizing bad actor part is again by looking at the jobs. So in the organization, if you're not working well, these organizations might just cut your salary or might demote you, which is again a way to penalize bad actors or a way to make sure that, if you're not playing the game theory right, you are getting penalized for it, and basically you are getting you're that's their way of saying that you're not doing something right. For Twitter, the same thing is there as well. If you're not providing good content, you are penalized because your voice will not be heard by a lot of users. If you are abusing the Twitter services, they might even ban your voice for 12 hours or 24 hours or even forever. So that's again two concepts to keep in mind. The first, incentivizing good behaviors, and the second, penalizing bad actors. And yeah, the last thing that you have to ensure is that always make sure that there's at least a win-win scenario for all the players involved in the ecosystem. So again, if you look at the example of the organization, if you perform well, the organization grows, you grow in terms of salary as well as in terms of roles and responsibility. And the entire structure has some awesome work culture around it. Uh, if the game theory succeeds, if the game theory is designed poorly, the organization will have a toxic environment, or you might not win in this game theory. The organization might be the only person who's winning. And eventually that results in the death of the organization, or in the destruction of any platform or any protocol or any smart contract or any product you design. Same with the Twitter. Twitter, their win is when they have more users, when they have more interactions. Your win is that when you have when your voice is heard among a lot of users. So yeah, there is a win-win scenario in that as well, where then if you are following the rules, then your voice is heard, you get more followers, and of course they are winning because you are making in the end you are making their platform better as well. So yeah, enough theory. Let's look at some real-world examples. So as I said, game theory is actually everywhere in any interaction which we do. So let's look at the historical example of World War One. So Britain and Germany, these sides were fighting in World War One, and they were on opposite sides. But then came the Christmas Eve, and these guys decided to put aside their difference, despite having the orders to not do so, and just celebrate that evening together, exchange gifts, and just not be fearful for one night. So what were the rules of the game theory? Again, there were three. One was incentivizing good behavior. And this point, there are two players, Britain and Germany. The incentivization was that if they are following the rules, if they are ensuring that they are not fighting with their enemies, then all of them can actually have a relaxed evening. Penalizing bad action. So the alternative of that was that if they don't follow the rules, then they are spending the night of Christmas in their bunker, and of course keeping a watch on the enemy. So all of a sudden, the penalty part and the incentivization part kicked in, and they all of them realized that the only win-win scenario over here for everyone is that if they follow the rules of the game, and they make sure that they're looking out for each other, and that was exactly that happened. In essence, the game theory worked over here. Kicking it up a notch. So let's talk about Bitcoin. Again, there's a game theory behind it. The first part is incentivization. So simply put, Bitcoin is a software which needs users, which the users need to run on their computer to enable the peer-to-peer immutable ledger. How does that work, or what is the incentivization for the Bitcoin? Well, of course, for Bitcoin to work, they require that all the users run these softwares, which are called miners. But what's the incentivization for the miner? Because they, in the end, they're giving their bandwidth. In the end, they're giving their space on the hard drive. So what's and computation power? So what's in it for them? well, that's where the cleverness of Bitcoin and blockchain lies, wherein the Bitcoin creator or the pseudo anonymous Satoshi Nakamoto said that, hey, if you run this software, then once in a while, I'll make sure that you receive Bitcoin as a part or as a compensation of making sure that we become immutable and we invent the blockchain. So yeah, that was the incentivization part. Of course, that worked. We all see where Bitcoin is right now, and we all see that blockchain was invented from it. The penalty part was actually one of the really creative ways by Bitcoin board. It basically meant that, if in the start these miners, they were required to give a lot more computational power than they had, then of course no one will participate in this chain, and the blockchain project in essence will be a failure. But Satoshi Nakamoto also realized that, as this blockchain grows and as more and more people joins in, the blockchain needs to be secure. And therein, the mining difficulty algorithm or the proof of work algorithm was born. So yeah, that was the penalty part in a sense. And of course, there was the win-win scenario over here as well, which was for Bitcoin that they required users to make sure that Bitcoin worked. For users, because they were giving this computational power, they were compensated with Bitcoin itself. And of course, it worked. As you can see, BTC is the number one cryptocurrency in the world. So yeah, as I said, we are talking about game theory and DeFi, and the reason I went through the game theory part and we are going to the DeFi aspect is just to make you realize that how each of these parts can fit into the project or can fit into the next best thing you guys are designing. We of course have utilized all these parts in Ethereum push notification service as well, and we are just going to give you a theoretical overview of how we have utilized it. But before that, let's just talk about DeFi. So DeFi is actually very simple if you come to think about it. It's just finances on blockchain. So any digital assets or a smart contract that can enable finances, which can be lending, borrowing, interest, or any banking or finances services. Basically, when they're doing it on blockchain, that means they are DeFi. Very simply put, it's finance built on blockchain. So about DeFi, I like to keep and talk about this slide a bit because I think people need to realize that DeFi is actually not a fiat money pillar, but it's an extension or the innovation over money. So for that, we need to understand the history of money a bit. So money in this current form or paper money in the current its current iteration, is actually not even the original money which was invented. This current iteration of money is not backed by gold reserves, while the previous one was. Even if you go a bit further, paper money didn't exist. We were probably dealing in gold. So, in essence, what I'm coming to the point is that money as an asset has always evolved and always evolved to provide better or faster or even provide services that were not really possible with the previous iteration of the money. For example, paper money was followed by plastic money or credit cards. So with paper money, you had the option to take a service from a service provider by paying them the equivalent of the paper money which they want for the service they wanted to provide. Along came credit card and it changed the interaction process forever. So now all of a sudden banks can provide you with plastic money or credit card, and they can say that it doesn't even matter if you have paper money. If you want a service, you can just go and swipe our credit card, and we will give that service provider the money so that you can take the service now, and you can pay us back in paper money later, as and when the money comes. Now, it opens up a lot of possibility which was not possible with paper money. One of the example I can cite is Netflix. So it opened up online payments, and Netflix right now accepts your credit card. Imagine how difficult it would have been if Netflix had an office in every city and you had to walk in and form a line just to get that service by delivering just paper money. So yeah, money as a concept always evolves, and that is what DeFi is doing as well. In essence, DeFi is the next invention over the concept of money. It doesn't mean that it's going to replace paper money. Maybe in the future, paper money will diminish in the way it's used, as what credit card and plastic money has enabled us to do. We use paper money less and less because plastic money is more flexible and it gives us more options. DeFi, in essence, does the same thing also. DeFi in essence enables things which are actually not possible with even plastic money, and which are not possible on blockchain, except if you have DeFi to enable these financial transactions. So one of the example for that is flash loans. Flash loans, in essence, means a zero collateral loan. It happens because you can write a function wherein you can take some money from the borrower, or you can lend some money. Basically, do whatever you want to do with that money by writing the arbitrage function, or essentially doing anything you want, and then returning back that money to the lender, uh, all in just one function. And with the nature of the blockchain, either the entire function will execute and the lender will receive his or her money back along with interest, or it will fail and the lender wouldn't have given you any money at all. In this instance, you have a zero collateral loan, which was never possible before. Of course, when it's blockchain, credit card or paper money cannot work, and that's why DeFi is an invention as well as an innovation over these previous iteration of money. Now, why or how DeFi helps us? Basically, DeFi enables us or provides us with a lot of set of APIs or Legos, which we can use in our own innovative way and in our own product to enable certain services, which is exactly what we did with the Ethereum push notification. So yeah, a little bit about us and what problem we were or we are trying to solve. We are trying to solve the problem of communication or the lack thereof. So when you are comparing notifications or when you're comparing Web2 services with Web3 services, you will realize that there's a huge communication or the information gap. For example, this meeting was a notification from a traditional Zoom call, but when you're going to Web3, even something as sensitive as a loan liquidation happening on Aave or Compound, there's no notification. Have you ever heard of your house getting foreclosed by a bank without you getting an alert? Well, that's a reality in Web3. Not only that, if you go deeper, you can realize that even the FaceTime calls you have, or the WhatsApp messages you receive, or even the payments you have on the traditional services, they happen through notification, or in essence, the service comes to the user and says that your action is done or your attention is required. But in Web3, that's not possible, or that was not possible before EPNS. What we did was we fixed this problem by creating a notification protocol that is capable of sending decentralized notifications. Not only that, the coolest part is these notifications, as they live on blockchain in an indirect or direct fashion. That means any platform can retrieve and display them. So in essence, that means that not only these notifications can happen from these services to the user, but it happens in a platform agnostic way. That means notifications can go into iOS, can come to Android, can come to your mobile or web browsers, or even your user wallets, which is basically what our vision is to become a Web3 communication or a notification standard. Not only that, we use the DeFi aspect and game theory to ensure that these services are not abusing the power of notification, and also to ensure that not only you as a user are receiving these notifications, but you are earning from it as well. So yeah, I spoke about the DeFi use cases, but the gaming, NFT, lottery, and the Web3 services are also some of the very cool and important use cases. I am going to show you a little bit of demo how easy it is to do these notifications if my computer doesn't freeze at this moment. Uh, okay, just give me a minute. It's frozen. So awesome. Yeah. So again, this is a mobile app which we have created, which again has integrated the EPNS protocol. And because it has integrated the EPNS protocol, it basically can receive notification which are coming from the wallet address. So these are some of the examples of notification which can come through the protocol. Basically, Ethereum naming service can send you a notification, or in this case, can send a notification to the EPNS router saying that her domain name has expired. Jam can actually or could have actually sent a governance proposal to all the token holders that, hey, there needs to be an emergency meeting and the protocol needs to be updated. Not only that, because we are building the middleware that can handle any sort of notification. In essence, the notification payload can be very, very dynamic. That means you can even have a live YouTube video coming in as a notification or an encrypted encryption. And everything is happening in a decentralized fashion. So the user wallet is the thing that is receiving this notification, not a centralized service. I spoke about how the users also earn from this as well. So I'm just going to talk about that very, very quickly. So basically, when the service, when they want to send these notifications out, they deposit a staking fee on the protocol. This staking fee is set as 50 DAI or higher. This staking fee in turn is lent out to Aave protocol to generate interest. And this interest goes to the users who have opted in to receive notifications from these services. And by users, I mean wallet addresses. So yeah, again, as a user, you are then not only you are in control, but because you are receiving notifications from these services, you are also getting a passive earning as well. Very excited about the journey so far. Of course, huge shout out to Ethereum Foundation and Git1 kernel. Yeah, I spoke about game theory a lot, and a huge thanks to Vivek, Sachin, and Andy for teaching the game theory to us. And that's how I'm imparting this game theory knowledge and DeFi knowledge to you guys. I would really recommend that you go ahead into this NCase link and try the game theory out by yourself. It really explains the game theory in great detail and how easy it is to define these interactions. And yes, we are open for questions. Let me just see if we have any questions at this point of time. Awesome. Could you introduce more about the blockchain? Can you share the slides? Of course, we are going to share the slides. I don't know what you mean by could you introduce more about the blockchain, but yeah, in case you are talking about what the blockchain is, it basically, yeah, it blockchain is basically a sort of a way by which information, the previous information is verified. Uh, Let me frame it right. So yeah, blockchain essentially means that the previous block information is basically mutable, and that can be verified by the next block which is attached to that chain. So think about it like a train composed of a lot of compartments. Now, each compartment which is attached previously to the train, the information or the ways to identify whether that compartment actually belongs to the train is present in the next compartment. So the way blockchain operates is that there's a security proof or a security mechanism which the next block of this chain carries. How to reach out to you? Thanks for your talk. Thanks for listening to us, anonymous attendee. You can reach out to us at EPNS Project in Telegram or EPNS Project in Twitter. You can also reach out to me at founders at epns.io. Or if you prefer to reach out to me personally, just write to me at harsh at epns.io or find me on Twitter.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. This was a fantastic presentation. And like you said, there's a couple different ways for you to reach out to them. Definitely want to follow them on Twitter as well. Harsh has sent me the slides, so I will be posting those in the Discord as well. So for those of you who are looking for the slides, they will be there. And yeah, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Patrick, and thanks everyone who attended. It was really exciting for us to be here.
Awesome. All right. Well, take care, everybody. This will go up on YouTube.